What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is Elementary Season 4, Episodes 19 and 20, all in and art imitates art. Yes, just want to make sure I got that right. So these are two fairly interesting episodes. The first one I thought was more interesting. This is the one involving the poker, the illegal poker going on. This woman comes to Sherlock saying she used to date Mycroft, and that's how she heard about Sherlock and all of this stuff. Maybe it's because I knew it was National Siblings Day, and that's why I saw this coming. But first thought is it's Watson's sister, right? Sister, somehow long lost sister, or something like that. Sure enough, her father went and had another family before, I think it was before he went and married Watson's mom. I can't really remember the timeline now, but anyway, half sister, they had the same father. But the case itself was interesting, just because it felt like, who can we really trust? I don't know, it felt like everybody was shady, everybody had a motive to lie about what happened. So it's kind of funny to be like, okay, can we really trust this, this witness's testimony? How is this going to work? Who can we really trust? And what ended up happening was fairly interesting. The dealer ends up being a part of it. She had this key that led to something. I can't really remember exactly what she was after, but I do remember it was like this tech organization, and apparently they had information that she needed to take back to the country in New Zealand. I think that they were trying to help out. So yeah, it was an interesting case. Like I said, mainly because the guys that they were talking to, that they were trying to get information out of, all seemed a bit shady. And then out of nowhere, the NSA hacks into their computer and says, yeah, we got this. We're wiping everything. Back off. So it was interesting in that respect too, because now all of a sudden the NSA's involved. It's like, why are you involved? Why are you helping? And of course, the whole episode, Watson's asking questions about this Lynn person, and who is she? Why is she? If she didn't date Mycroft, then how does she know about him and you and us? And like I said, maybe it's because I knew it was National Siblings Day, and that's why it made it so predictable. But from the very beginning, I thought, yeah, it's Watson's sister. And then the second case was still fairly interesting, but once again, as soon as they talked to the DA, I'm thinking the DA did it. I don't know why. I don't know how I figured it out. Not right away I thought the DA did it, but after they were talking about how some of the samples may have gotten contaminated or weren't tested right, I'm thinking the DA had something to do with it. Just because of how she was talking to them, what she was saying to them about how we have an airtight case and all this stuff. I don't know, she just seemed a little bit too confident, like she knew something was up with the DNA that was tested. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I did see that coming as well. So overall, I wouldn't say I'm displeased, but it did feel a bit predictable. Couple of moments though that I did and did not like. First, what I didn't like, the first scene in the first episode where they break into Lynn's house, or what's his face breaks in with a gun, and she's talking on the phone. That scene was a little bit weird. I'm just like, really? Can you not act? That was awful. You couldn't say, hey, we need to do that scene again. That looked very fake, very unreal. We need to try that again. Nobody saw that but me. I don't know. That was just so weird. The way she screamed was just out of a horror, a bad horror movie. it was just really, really bad. The other part I didn't like was in the second episode where Lynn is talking to Watson, and then Watson tries to contact her mother, and all of a sudden she just shows up at the police station with some random person. I guess it was her mom. Never talked about that again, but she just is really upset with her, and then tells her, whenever he came back to us, he said he wished that he had killed you all. Now I understand why. And leaves, and then later on comes back and is like, hey, I just wanted to apologize. I'm like, seriously? What? Yeah, your dad wanted you to die, and now that I met you, I understand. I want you dead too. There's no apologizing for that. You better get down on your knees and grovel right now. You better kiss my feet, because that is ridiculous. And yet Watson's just like, yeah, I understand, I get it. I'm like, this is not normal. This is not a normal thing. You don't just come up out of nowhere to meet your half sister, ask for her help on a case out of nowhere, antagonize her throughout the entire case, reveal that you're her half. Well, actually, no. She figures out that she's your half sister, and then whenever she comes asking questions about her dad, who she hardly knew, she just whatever. I don't care. I hate you. I wish you were dead. And then you just come back and ask for forgiveness, and you just yeah, okay. That doesn't feel normal. At least it doesn't to me. Maybe this happens all the time, and I just don't get it. But it really doesn't feel normal at all. It was frustrating. Anyway, on to the good stuff. Like I said, the case in the first one was very interesting. The characters themselves were a bit fun too. The first guy, the gun nut, he hears that Sherlock is this journalist, and so he just goes off on this little rant about guns. I'm just like, that's kind of funny. And then the second guy was this shifty, kind of nerdy guy who apparently was cheating at these poker games, and he's just like sitting there like, so what are you guys doing here? Just, you know why we're here. Oh, the poker game. I don't know. It was funny to watch them. There are a few jokes that really, really landed, and one in the first one and two in the second one. They were really good. I can't remember exactly what they are now, but I just remember laughing more than I normally do. It went beyond just a that was funny. It was like an actual laugh, which I'm not gonna do that now because that would seem awkward. But that's good to see. It's good to see that there's still humor in this. Really good moments to have, especially in this show. So, yeah, overall, I'd say I'm happy with the overall 2 episodes. I just wish that, one, they hadn't made this on National Siblings Day, so it wasn't so obvious that this mysterious woman out of nowhere is Watson's sister. That was way too obvious. I don't know how the DA was obvious in the second one, but it was. I wish they could have made that maybe a bit more confusing. And I wish they had touched on that concept that they had in the second one about the, misrepresenting the blood test, all of that stuff, because that was a bit crazy. The woman who was doing that, the woman who was falsifying these tests, that was a bit nuts. Like, her reasoning was just so twisted. She's like, if the jury's not going to prosecute because there's not enough definitive evidence, well, I'm going to give them the definitive evidence. And she felt like she was doing a justice by putting these innocent people behind bars just because they seemed the most guilty. I'm like, can we touch on that a little bit more? Can we actually talk about this? And can we have an episode where this is actually the main thing and not surrounded by all this stuff with Watson or half-sister? Because that would be an interesting episode. Because we've seen this before. We've seen this concept before of falsifying evidence to try to get a conviction. So to have it kind of just thrown in there out of nowhere, I felt like they could have gone deeper into that and actually had a main episode where that is the issue overall, not just, there's stuff with Watson's half-sister, and then there's stuff with this one girl who's cheating on, this one woman who's cheating on her wife with another younger girl. I don't know. It just didn't feel like the main point of this episode was falsifying evidence. It felt like that was just another part of it. It's kind of a big deal. So I don't know. Maybe they'll come back to that at another point. Maybe we'll have a case later on where somebody who was put in jail because of this same doctor because she falsified evidence. Maybe now they have to come back and resolve a case because of that. I hope they do. They may not, but I hope they do. So, yeah, good episodes though. Still good cases involved. So still enjoyable. That's the one thing I can always count on for Elementary. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree. We can discuss stuff. If there's anything that I missed that you really want to talk about, let me know. We can talk about it. And leave a like and subscribe for more Elementary. I'll see you at the next review. Peace out.